We have some time for a couple more voices, people remembering Ward, and someone was thinking to themselves, almost might say something. Who is that person? There we go.
My name is Linda, and I have been a friend of Carolyn Ward's for the past 5, 6 years, 7 years. I have moved them 3 times. And when everyone was talking about the papers and the boxes, you learn a lot about somebody through their papers and stuff. And one of the things I realized is that going through and helping him to pack the office, which was a lot of places, it was how important everything was. His greeting cards, the receipts, the real important legal documents were all together, but they were all organized in little piles, perfectly little trim on the edge saying what it was for. So there was a lot of order in the chaos that we were seeing. It was just amazing. And I think what I learned is how do we treat, or how I saw him was treating everyone like a human being. That every human being on this planet has a right just to breathe, to eat, to drink, to be nice to each other while we do those things. And he lived that. He lived being nice and trying and sharing how he felt when he was under distress or angry about something through conversation and through his heart. I think he filtered a lot of that anger through his heart, which didn't seem emotional, but it actually came out very tempered and clear. The fact that he really taught me about taking a pause to really think about what you want to say it anyway. How cool is it that he now got all this group of people together? Unbelievable amount of people. And that it is our responsibility to continue what you all have experienced from him, to bring that heart, to work together, to see each other as human beings, no matter how different and no matter how the same, is that it's so important to make it not hysterical, but to do it in a way that's really caring and that we respect each other. And he really taught me through his stuff that he respected everything and that all of it was important and that he really did rely on each other to make it happen, and that we still need to rely on each other to make it happen, and to listen to each other as he would listen, and to also speak how you need to speak and how you want to do it, and to listen to each other do that. And that I have learned so much from him, and I know where to get a rubber band. I got his little shirt.
What else are you thinking? Are you moved?
I moved. My name is Lucy, and I just want to say first that I am so moved to be in this room with all of you wonderful people, and I just keep crying with the music. It's fantastic. I probably know Ward the least of anybody here except for the really small children. Carolyn Ward moved next door to me a couple of years ago, or maybe even less. They lived up the road a little, so I knew them. But Ward and Carolyn live right next door, and where we live in community, and our cars are a football field away, is what I was told. So I would see Ward a lot during the day. So by the time I knew him, he walked very slowly, and it was actually even, I hate to say, hard to understand him a lot. His voice was not as strong as it was, and I really wish so much that I could have known him all of those years, and the stories are just remarkable. But it actually was the very last time that I saw Ward. It was a beautiful spring day here in Northampton, where we live, and I was rushing, because that's what I do in my life. I rush, run and rush. And Ward did not rush. I mean, I don't know if he rushed when he was younger, but about corporations. So.
And basically, when I told my daughter, who's now 14, where I was coming today, she's in a horse show, so she's where she always is. She said, her first thing she said was, Ward didn't have a lot of words, but he was so full of love. And her memory was them shoveling out the car together. And then the last thing she said, you know, when you look at Ward, you could see how much he loves Carolyn. So this is from both of us.
Once in the early days of the Iraq War, a group of us gathered to go to Washington to protest the war in front of the White House. And it was decided certain people would risk arrest and Caroline would do the publicity. And as we were gathering just before we went onto the property to risk arrest, you know, Caroline was trying to get the press releases accurate and who should she notify? And she was trying to get statements out of us that we had promised to give her. And people were irritated. They wanted to move. And Ward said, Caroline can be difficult at times, and I love her deeply.
Yeah, please. What we can do is just, I don't have to stand and look for people. We'll just wait until everyone is finished. And then we'll go out with Joe Hill and then Solidarity Forever, our anthem. And Roger, if you would, take over.
My mother was also a deep activist, and it's sad to say she's in a assisted living now where most of the residents watch 40s movies all day long and sleep. And I hope that we can think about a society where any senior that we come across, we help bring out who they are, even very small, like it's not about us when we meet up with an elder, it should be about them. And what can we do to bring them out and get to know what they have to offer? I mean, it's an opportunity. So many people pass by because they're elder, they're stupid, and they're going slow and I'm in a hurry, So I think that's what I come away with.
Tell them to come raging ready.
We're the raging grandma.
Carolyn and Ward co-parented our dog Fred. And ever after, when Fred saw Ward, I would have no clue that Ward was walking across the sidewalk. It's sort of like screaming at the leash, He loved Ward. He loved taking naps with him. And Ward loved him. He was so beautiful. He had a real connection with that dog and with dogs.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rich Gordon. I'm Ward's nephew. And when I was fresh out of college and the black sheep of an academic family, the only one without a piled higher and deeper at the end.
Ward didn't have one either.
That's okay, and I think we were kindred spirits in that regard. But I remember very succinctly an incident where I was attempting to find my way in the joyful pursuit that is known as the music business, or at least was at the time, and in the mid-'80s known as the music business. And there was an occasion, I believe it was someone's birthday, probably his, and he actually hired my rock band to come and play on the porch in his house in Croton-on-Hudson, New York. And I remember telling my bandmates this, and them sort of looking at me and going, I'm sorry, your uncle? And I said, yes. And we went and we played, and he and his first wife, Cynthia, got up and danced to many of the songs we played, although I'm fairly certain most of them were probably new to him. But it struck me as I was thinking about what remembrance would I bring forward today. And I thought about the fact that he owed me no obligation. And yet he understood that this was a passion of mine, and that he wanted to encourage me to take my own path. And he did that for me.